Why? Why does this happen? Literally was a good 20 minutes into this show and says I get a notification that pops up saying that my disk storage space is low, and then, obviously with it being low and there isn't enough room in regards to save that video, it just pretty much gets deleted. So here I am doing it again. This is like the third or fourth time this has happened with this freaking software I have. How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to Hindsight, episode 30. You might be wondering, if you don't follow me on social media, I'll be wondering, why this is on a Monday. It was supposed to be yesterday. Long story short, I had things going on that just took up too much time, so I moved it to today. I was hoping I would have uploaded around 3 o'clock, but here we are at 6. What time is it? It's 6:05. I was hoping to get up at 5 or 6, but again, things came out. I had to take care of things, and they went longer than they did, and that's just the way it is. So it's been a kind of annoying day. Well, not an annoying day, but like annoying in regards of my recording and just not being able to get it up to the time that I've wanted to. So, but what can you do about it? So, but anyway, thank you all for taking the time to tune back into the show here. I say this all the time at the end of the show. I'll even say it before the show, but whether it's you guys take a minute out of your day to tune in, or you watch the whole thing, or even if you just like and subscribe, it's all. I can't really say enough in regards to my appreciation for that, because this is obviously something I've wanted to do for a long time, and it's been up and running for about a couple months now, or about a month and a half now on YouTube. About two and a half months now overall in general. So maybe 3 months overall in general, I think. But really, it really means a lot, and I can never say enough for each and every one of you who do that. Thank you. So it always just really means a lot to me, and I can never say enough on that. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Monday today. Back to work for a lot of us. I didn't work today, thank God. So, but yeah, so today we're pretty much just going to be recapping preseason football. What kind of went down this past week. We got some other things we're going to talk about, things in baseball, hockey as well we're going to get into. But yeah, let's just kind of get back into it, because like I said, I was kind of already a little deep into what I was recording, and then it just kind of completely went away on me. So let's just kind of get back in regards of what we were covering, but obviously we will start from the start again. So we had Thursday night, folks. We had the Patriots and the Eagles playing Thursday night. New England won 35-0. So, there's coming out of this, not really coming out of this, but today there was news that Cam Newton is going to be away from New England for the next 5 days because of a COVID-19 situation. There was some kind of misunderstanding with tests that were taken, and they're just kind of doing their precaution. So here's what I'm going to say. Okay, I'm not going to get into in regards of really the nitty-gritty of the vaccines and stuff like that. I don't know Cam Newton's situation on that. That's entirely up to him. That's his business, not mine, nor is it your business either. But Cam Newton, that was announced. Here's my question. The NFL has about majority of their guys vaccinated, or at least with one dose, right? Why are they still testing these guys? Justin Pugh of the Cardinals came out about that. There were a couple other players come out about that, grieving their frustrations with that. These guys went out of their way. They're following protocol. They're trying to, It's obviously everybody's personal decision. But they're fully vaxxed. I just don't understand why the NFL is doing that. And how long is the NFL going to do this for? Are we going to go into next season as well where this is happening? Are we going to go in the year after that? Are we going to go the next 4 or 5 years? I don't get it. And maybe you guys have a logical explanation of that, and you can let me know in the comments. I just don't understand. Now, the people that aren't, they have to be tested every day, pretty much the same as last year. There's very, very heavy restrictions on them. For those that are, I believe they get tested once every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? There isn't a limit on anything. Obviously, restrictions are, pretty out the door. It just doesn't make sense to me. If I was a player, again, it's everybody's decision, but I feel like it would just be too much of a headache, and I wouldn't want all those restrictions on me like that, especially with what we've dealt with the last year and a half, and how heavy restrictions were as well last year in particular in regards to the sports world. I wouldn't want to deal with that again. But again, it's everybody's, personal decision. I respect either way. You do what you need to do. But yeah, so Cam Newton's gone for the next 5 days, and I don't really know what the situation is going to come out of that. But Cam Newton, he actually didn't look too bad in this preseason game, man. I believe he went 8 for 9. He had, what do you have, like 80-some yards, I think, right? Let me see. Anyway, I know Cam Newton had a touchdown. Jacoby Myers, he had some nice zip on some of his passes. Let me see here. Yeah, so Cam he went 8 for 9, 103 yards, and a touchdown. Mac Jones went 13 for 19, 146 yards, and then Brian Hoyer, obviously nobody cares. Brian Hoyer is obviously probably going to be the third quarterback on that team, clearly. Now, still the question is who's going to start week 1. I still think it'll probably be Cam Newton, but I feel like just until maybe he plays bad or an injury, poor play, Mac Jones will probably take over that. I don't know. I feel like it could probably go either way. Like I said, I think it'll probably be Cam. But I think with where the Patriots stand, I really don't know what to make out with this team. I do like guys they still have defensively. I think really what it's going to come down to for their success is their execution on offense and really whoever the quarterback is, being able to have consistent quarterback play week in and week out. I'm not expecting either quarterback to blow it up. I'm not expecting either quarterback to have a great season this year, but I think Mac Jones has showed good things. I think he's shown some good poise, accuracy in regards to the preseason, smart decision-making. Cam Newton, I think, looked pretty nice as well yesterday in regards to some of the action he got. With New England, that's what it comes down to me. And we know that they have about 3, 4, 5 different running backs they're going to use. They added on offense in regards to the 2 tight ends with Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry. I'd imagine they're going to probably use them both at the same time quite a bit. Kendrick Bourne they brought in, Nelson Aguilar they brought in. So, I mean, they definitely got better skill position-wise than where they were last year. But that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to quarterback play, how much can you rely on who's ever your starter, and being able to get the ball and move the ball down the field, which you didn't do last year. So, they won 35-0. Philadelphia, we know Philadelphia isn't really going much of anywhere. I'm not big on their defense. Jalen Hurts is obviously a question mark, but you got to see what you have from him, right? You took him the second round. You started him toward the end of last year. Then you benched him for whatever reason. He has some potential there, but I think, you just got to kind of see, man. They drafted Devonta Smith, which I did like that pick. He made his debut as well. I mean, he didn't really do much of anything. He had a couple catches. Nothing really mind-boggling or mind-blowing or anything. Dallas Goedert, I think Jalen Hurts and him will definitely have a nice connection there. Miles Sanders, he's still back there in the running game. I don't know. Philadelphia, I don't really think anybody views them that highly. I think Philadelphia, it might take a little bit of time to kind of get back to that, the top of the division where they've been the last few years, but again, you got to see where you average Jalen Hurts. And who knows, Jalen Hurts definitely might, learn from last year, you know what I'm saying? And with a new coach, underhand and stuff like that, it might do him good. So, got to wait and see on him. I don't really think it's fair to really make a determination on him when he's only played like 4 games. But Philadelphia, we know they aren't going anywhere this year. It might just take a little bit of time for them. Bengals and the Washington football team. Bengals lost 13-17. No Burrow again. We know Burrow isn't going to play. He'll probably be ready for the first week of the preseason. Jamar Chase, I believe, what pick was he? 5th overall, I think. Jamar Chase kind of struggled a little bit with some drops. I think he has a high ceiling for Cincinnati, but he kind of struggled. But that's what happens when you're a rookie. Now, Kansas City and the Cardinals. I'm going to just kind of get in the Cardinals for a minute here. Kansas City won this game 17-10. Okay. The thing with the Cardinals, first of all, the NFC West is going to be a very interesting division. I think all 4 teams can win the division. I think all 4 teams have a chance at the playoffs. Absolutely. The Cardinals, the thing that concerns me, I obviously like Kyler Murray. He has a very nice future ahead of him. Chase Edmonds and James Conner. James Conner's a nice running back when he's healthy. But we know how he is. I think the Cardinals have definitely gotten better with the offensive line over the last 3 years. I think J.J. Watt's playing. He's just going to elevate everybody else around him. Chandler Jones is a beast. I like the young guys they got at inside linebacker. Their secondary, I think, the cornerback specifically is the biggest concern. Malcolm Butler's so-so. Byron Murphy, I still think, he needs to keep growing. Robert Alford's obviously a veteran guy. I think he's in his early 30s now. And then Darqueze Dennard, they signed. He's kind of been so-so again. Excuse me. I think that the Cardinals, that's their weak point. They got good talent. They have the ability to make a run like they did last year. But what's holding them back is their head coach. Cliff Kingsbury, I think, just lacks a lot of leadership. I think he lacks a lot of control of that team. I don't like his play calling at all, what I've seen the last 2 years, because I have watched Cardinals games over the last 2 years. His play calling is really detrimental to the team. And if there's not really much of a change there, and if there isn't really much of a step forward from him, I think he really might be the factor that holds the team back from, maybe winning double-digit games, maybe getting in the playoffs. Maybe they might be in a situation like they were last year where, they have to, maybe hit 10, 11 wins to get in there and they fall short. I really don't know. I like the Cardinals' direction, but it's their coach that, to me, is a big concern. And we have to really see if he's going to implement anything different and switch up play calling and try to be more efficient with that. And I think that's really going to drive their success this year. It's him. And I wanted to get that out because going over this game, I think that's what it is for the Cardinals this year. They're going in the right direction. If you're a Cardinals fan, there's definitely reasons to be excited. But you have to, it's going to come down to the head coach. It's going to come down to the head coach. Now, also, Bears and Bills. Bears won 41-15. The Bears. Some things coming out of the Bears. Andy Dalton, this past week, had a press conference. Okay. And he pretty much said that we know Justin's going to have a really good future, but this is my time. I think Andy Dalton definitely has the right mindset, and that's the mindset he needs to have. Andy Dalton isn't going to say, yeah, well, if Justin wins a starting job, I understand he's the guy the fans want, and that is the future of this team, and I'll be fine as a veteran backup, and maybe try to help him out. Of course, he's not going to say that, nor does he want that. Andy Dalton, he hasn't been a bad quarterback throughout his career. I think he's been, I didn't think he was too bad with the Bengals. Got to the playoffs a few times, didn't win any games, but still got to the playoffs. He had a really great 2015 until he got hurt with that thumb. And then with the Cowboys last year, it was just a tough season overall in general, and the Cowboys had quite a bit of injuries too. It wasn't ideal. So Andy Dalton, kind of a fresh start here. Different system, different weapons, different coaching. I expect Andy Dalton to probably be the guy week 1. But here's the thing. This is why I think he's in a tough situation, is because the first mistake Andy Dalton makes is the starter. That's when the clamoring is going to say, all right, Justin Fields time, man. And I don't know how much of a leash the Bears are going to have on Andy Dalton. I don't know how much they want to get Justin Fields into the thick of things. So that kind of is a factor too. But that's the thing, like Andy Dalton, the fans want Justin Fields. Justin Fields has outperformed him in preseason, obviously. He's looked really nice. I like his poise. I like his movement in the pocket. I thought Justin Fields, whoever takes him, could definitely have, he could definitely be a guy that could possibly lead them for quite a long time and be their franchise guy, possibly. The Bears haven't been able to figure out the quarterback position their whole franchise, pretty much, and this might be the guy. This might be the time. But Andy Dalton's in a situation, man, where the first mistake or two he makes, it's going to be done. It's going to be game over. And the Bears, that's just the situation it is. Andy Dalton signed on. He was expected to be the starter, at least for this season. Kind of a fresh start for him. You know, maybe if he kind of played well, that can lead to another opportunity somewhere else as a starter. But then they drafted Justin Fields, and that just kind of put a wrench into certain things, and Andy Dalton just got to be on top of his game, man. So I expect Dalton to probably be the starter as well week 1. I guess time will tell. Jets 23-14 over Green Bay. Aaron's obviously not playing. He'll be ready for week 1. Jordan Love, I don't think he played. I believe he was hurt. The Ravens continue to be the kings of the preseason. 20-3, they defeat the Panthers. I believe this is the 27th game, 26 or 27th game that they've won in the preseason. Dolphins defeat the Falcons 37-17. And, you know, one thing about the Falcons, going to fantasy football, man, I actually have my league. And it's legit my league. I'm the one that created it about 6 or 7 years ago. And I'm in 2 leagues every year. I got mine, and I'm in another friend's league. I think with the Falcons, I think Mike Davis, just a little fantasy inside scoop here. I think Mike Davis might be a guy to, you know what I mean, to keep an eye out in regards of a sleeper running back. Let's look at these Dolphins stat here. Let's look at the stats here of this game. So we know A.J. McCarron of the Falcons. It was revealed today he tore out his knee. He's out for the year. Tua, 183 yards with the TD. Jacoby Brissett, 99 with the TD. Myles Gaskin went 6 for 27 TD. Malcolm Brown, 10 for 43. I don't really know if Myles Gaskin's going to be the lead guy or if they're going to utilize him and somebody else. I don't know. But anyway, Dolphins put a hammering on the Falcons. Let me see here. Hold on, folks. Okay. Now, Titans and Buccaneers, 34-3. No Tom Brady. Kyle Trask played. He looked awful. Lions and Steelers. Steelers win 26-20. Now, as you all know, I'm a Steeler fan. So I'm not really going to dissect this game today. I think tomorrow I'm going to do my Steelers and Lions recap. But here's all I'm going to say about this. LOL at every single person who is retracting their statement on the Steelers this year. And Big Ben, a big LOL right at you, my friends. Big Ben looked great. His arm looked great. Big Ben looked healthier. Looked like he turned back the clock, man. There was one time where he was in shotgun, I believe, and, you know, he rolled out to his left. There was a lot of pressure coming, rolled out to his left, and then, you know, kind of threw a little pump fake, rolled out to his right. Really nice on-target pass to Eric Ebron, who, go figure, dropped the ball. But Big Ben went for 8 for 10, I believe, 137 yards, I think he threw, and 2 touchdowns. Let me see. I just want to make sure I got the yards right. And a perfect 158.3 QBR. Big Ben played. He played pretty much the whole first quarter for the most part, really. Let me see. Yeah, 137. So, yeah. I thought Big Ben looked really good. And this is what I've been saying, folks. This is what I've been saying. You know, Big Ben had 2 touchdowns to Pat Freiermuth, who is they got the second round. He's had great hands. He can block. He can really do anything as a tight end. Big Ben had a beautiful pump fake that faked out the camera guy right to Freiermuth, and then also coming down the field as well. Had another, I believe it was a little bit kind of over the shoulder to Freiermuth a little bit, where Freiermuth could just kind of adjust a little bit, catch that ball. It was perfect. Pinpoint pass. Big Ben had a nice pass, 43 yards to Deontay Johnson. Najee Harris, another thing too. We saw a glimpse of the Matt Canada offense, and Najee Harris, a little play action to Najee. Najee kind of cut in the middle of the field, 43-yard reception. So Najee's obviously going to be a big-time game changer in this offense. And, you know, and we got to be able to see a little bit of that Matt Canada offense where we saw some of that motion. You know what I mean? We saw some play action. You know, really kind of what they're utilizing there in regards of him. Just a little bit. Obviously, we weren't going to see a lot of that new offense, but some more play action, you know what I mean? Some more jet sweeps, player movement before the snap, pre-snap motion. You know, maybe more utilizing. Obviously, you're going to utilize Najee Harris a lot more in the passing game as well, that which they haven't really done with their running backs the last 3 years. So there's definitely going to be a lot of differences with the offense, but Big Ben looked great. So, Like I said, I haven't been doubting Big Ben all offseason. I have not. I've been a very big advocate for him this year. Same with the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. Not because I'm a Steeler fan simply, but also just because I know what I'm talking about. And when you really factor into everything that happened last year, there were a lot of things I felt like that were out of Big Ben's control, and coming a year off that elbow surgery, and now he's another year removed from it, and he says it feels really good. He didn't really know what good felt like, and now you kind of see that. It's just going to make him that much more effective, man. And we saw that yesterday. He looked like he was turning back the clock, so he looked really good. I'm very happy for him. But tomorrow, I'm definitely going to get into that. I'm not going to recap the game here, really. I was just going to kind of dive into that. But tomorrow, keep an eye out because we'll be recapping that preseason game. So they won 26-20. We also had the Colts beat the Vikings 12-10. Texans defeat the Cowboys 20-14. Now, Dak Prescott, I saw a couple days ago that Dak Prescott might not be 100% right now. That's obviously I don't necessarily want to say that's a huge concern. I mean, we really don't know. But, Dak, you definitely don't want to rush him back. And, really, it seems like his really first game action is going to be that opener. Thursday night, right? That opener. So, I'm just trying to think what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. So Dak, I think that it's good that they are kind of holding him out. You don't want to rush him in there. You know what I mean? Utilize him at camp. Let him, you know what I mean? Just kind of get back, continue to get back in the gist of things because you don't want to risk anything. But it is a question mark, man. If Dak isn't at 100%, and let's say as the season kind of early on goes on and, maybe he's not, maybe there's something wrong there. He's kind of feeling off, which I'm not saying, is going to happen. But, it's definitely a questionable thing. But at this point in time, you definitely don't want to rush him back, and you want him to keep taking his time and make sure he's ready to go for that Thursday night game because Dallas is another team where I don't really think the NFC East, again, like last year, I don't really think it's going to be this high-powering division. I don't think anybody thinks that. I don't think there's going to be a lot of wins in the division again. But Dallas has the chance to win that, but I think there's also some limitations with that team. We'll kind of go through that, and really once the preseason's over, I'm going to, really kind of go team by team and just kind of really kind of break things down and the outlook, maybe what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some predictions on what they're going to do, seedings, division winners, things like that. And really just kind of go through the nitty gritty of the teams and stuff like that, of where they stand, right? So, but with Dallas, I mean, there's things it's like, they can really be a nice offense this year if they can get things right defensively. But then there's also some questions there. Is Dak going to be healthy? Wouldn't Zeke? The defense, is it going to be a liability? You know what I'm saying? I really don't know with Dallas. I feel like they could go either way. Raiders 17-16 over the Rams. Broncos defeat the Seahawks 30-3. Now, Denver also has another quarterback situation. I don't know who's going to start. I'd imagine Drew Lock. But Teddy Bridgewater as well, man. Teddy Bridgewater, I was a big fan of Teddy Bridgewater in Louisville. I loved him when he went to the Vikings. Unfortunately, he had that really bad injury. But it's great that he was able to kind of bounce back from that, get back to full health, and, sign with the Saints. Had a lot of success there under Drew Brees, and when Brees was out, signed with Carolina last year. That didn't really work out, and now he gets another opportunity here with Denver. Denver, I really like their defense. I think they'll definitely have a top 10 defense this year. On paper, they look really good. We got to kind of see things put into action, but I just think there's a lot of talent there. And for them to not really mesh or gel out, I feel like it's just kind of hard to see that not work out. They have some nice weapons offensively. Jerry Jeudy, I definitely think he has a lot of potential. KJ Hamler, Cortland Sutton's going to be back. Noah Fant, long as he can stay healthy. The offensive line's been gelling. So Teddy Bridgewater went 9 for 11, 105 with a TD. Drew Lock went 9 for 14 for 80. Now, I feel like this was kind of reversed the other week where Drew Lock did kind of have a pretty good showing. But I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong. If you're a Broncos fan, maybe you know a little bit more than I do. I feel like this is 50-50. I feel like it could go either way, and maybe week 3 of the preseason, will really kind of determine that. But I feel like I'm not a Drew Lock fan at all. I don't think Drew Lock's done anything for the last 2 years to really show, and this is third year, I believe, to really show that he's worth having that starting opportunity in the league. I just haven't seen anything from him. I'm not saying Drew Lock doesn't have any kind of talent or potential, but there hasn't been any promising signs to me in regards of, let's just try to keep going forward with this guy. I think Teddy Bridgewater, in regards to where the Broncos are at, I don't feel like either quarterback is really going to elevate this team to a playoff team. I think the defense can be a playoff caliber defense. Like I said, they got some good positional guys, but I don't think either quarterback is going to elevate the team to be a 10-11 win team. I'm not really big on Denver this year. I've seen some people that are high on them. I don't really understand, but I think if Denver at least had a competent quarterback, that could help elevate a little bit and just kind of keep them average, maybe they could try to make a play. But that's the thing. I like Teddy Bridgewater, but I don't really think Teddy Bridgewater's that either. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is really going to do anything for this team in regards of getting him to the next level, you know what I mean? Keeping him competitive in the AFC West. I just don't see that. I just don't. And I'm not doubting Teddy Bridgewater that he can't, that he can't, fit in well with Denver and maybe make some things happen. It's possible. But I just don't see the level of quarterback play from what I've seen in regards of that happening. So we'll see who kind of beats who out. I'm going to guess it's probably going to be Drew Lock as a starter. It could be Teddy Bridgewater. It might come down next week. I don't know. Giants and Browns. Browns won 17-13. Niners and Chargers. Niners won 15-10. No Justin Herbert this game. But San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo is terrible. I don't really know what the Niners see in Jimmy Garoppolo. I really don't know. I've never really seen it. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo's, he has a good winning record with San Francisco. We know he led them to the Super Bowl in 2019, but I think a lot of that was really kind of heavily defensively based and more guys around him making plays than him. I'm not a fan of Jimmy G. I don't think Jimmy G's really that much of a starting caliber quarterback in this league. I think he's more of a bottom tier kind of guy. Trey Lance obviously played a lot better, outperformed him. I still think Jimmy G will be their starter going into week 1. I still think they want to give Trey Lance some time, but I think it's going to take poor football play for Trey Lance to get in, and based off what we've seen from Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe that'll be sooner than later. I don't see what the San Francisco 49ers really see in him. I know he's gone from them after this year, but Jimmy G just, to me, doesn't offer anything. He's not a big arm guy. He's more of a, I feel like he's more of a safe, more of a cautious, what's the word I'm looking for? Conservative. He's more of a conservative quarterback, I feel like, man. He's not going to, me, if the Niners are down by 14 in the fourth quarter, to me, he's not going to lead. I'm not going to rely on him or have a lot of faith in him to bring the team back. He's not a quarterback that's really going to get the ball down the field a ton. I'm not big on him. I think Trey Lance will be starting for them sooner than later this year. And then tonight we got the Jags and Saints, which I'll probably tune in for a little bit. Jameis Winston starting this game. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, is playing. Now, Tim Tebow got cut from the Jaguars last week, and I don't understand the ridicule that went toward him. I don't think anybody can deny the hard work that this man put in. He's probably done. He's probably done. I don't really see him getting another opportunity in the NFL, but he got one. And I've always been a Tim Tebow fan, man. I've always, I always loved his passion, his hard work, how good of a teammate he is. Just never giving up. You know what I mean? Never giving up. Never, not listening to doubters, not listening to critics, and doing whatever you put your mind to, not letting anybody stop you. And the only one stopping you from that is you. And I live by that. I'm not sure who said that, but that's just kind of a statement I've always lived by. And Tim Tebow is one of the guys as well, that the only one stopping him from doing what he wants to do is him. One of the most successful college quarterbacks of all time. You know, he won a playoff game, sadly, against my Steelers back in 2011 with Denver. He had a nice run there. After that, with the Jets and Patriots, it just kind of didn't really work out for the rest of his NFL career. Went to baseball, which he wanted to pursue. And then after that, got another opportunity with the NFL. And I've always admired him, you know. And if you're not a Tim Tebow fan, I mean, that's you. You know what I mean? That's your thought, your opinion, or whatever. Okay, but I just don't see how anybody can, you know what I mean? Not like, you know, at least not like show. Again, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not. I can't think of the word I was looking for to say, but I just don't know how people can really ridicule the guy, still pursuing his dreams and just working really hard to achieve that, man. So I just don't get that. But Tim Tebow, he was cut last week by Jacksonville, and tomorrow is actually going to be cuts 80 to 85 around the league. We'll see if there's any notable guys that have gotten cut. I'm doing a video tomorrow, so if there are, I'll probably mention that a little bit. But yeah, now also Larry Fitzgerald came out this past week and pretty much said that he was asked about his future in the NFL, what's he going to do. Larry pretty much said right now he doesn't have the urge to play. So this isn't a retirement. This could be something where I believe he's going to be a part of the radio broadcast for the Cardinals. This ain't retirement for Larry Fitzgerald, man. Larry Fitzgerald's probably my all-time favorite player that did not play on the Steelers. I wish he did. That would have been amazing. Went to Pitt. That would have been really cool. But Larry Fitzgerald, man, if this is the end for Larry Fitzgerald, probably the best wide receiver I got to watch. Now, when I first started getting into football, Randy Moss was toward the end of his career with New England. Terrell Owens was kind of the end of his career with Dallas, and then Buffalo, Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? So really those two guys, I don't like to count those guys because I didn't get to watch them in their prime, right? So Larry Fitzgerald is definitely the best wide receiver I got to personally watch throughout his whole career, along with Calvin Johnson, AB, and, you know, you can name some other guys too, a Julio, you know, whoever else you want to throw in there. But this isn't a retirement for Larry. This is definitely something where right now he doesn't have that urge, but maybe come toward the end of the year, you know, maybe to kind of help be a part of the Cardinals stretch run. Maybe he does that and ends his career that way. That's always possible. Or who knows, maybe he does that, and then maybe he comes back for one more year next year, feels really good, and comes back for one more year, possibly. I don't know. It's up to him. You know, I believe he's 37 now, right? Isn't he 37? So, I don't know. This isn't a retirement for him. I think this is just something where it's, you know, just kind of a wait-and-see thing. That's really what it is. Let's wait and see kind of how we are as the season goes on. So that's what he's going to do, but he's got a nice gig radio broadcasting there for the Cardinals. Also, what is else I wanted to mention here? Football related. I don't think anything else there was necessarily. Sometimes I'll kind of jot down bullet points, or if there's certain topics I kind of want to talk about. I don't have any script here, folks. I don't read off a script. I don't read off a teleprompter or anything like that. I just kind of, if there's something else or certain things that stick out to me I want to dive into, I'll do that. But yeah, tonight, 8:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, Jags and Saints on ESPN, Monday Night Football. I'll be tuning in, watching it. Baseball's also come out with, obviously we're kind of moving on from football here. Baseball has, there's a couple things with baseball, man. MLB was proposed with a, what was it? It was like a cap floor, right, in regards of, or a salary floor in regards of how much money a team can spend. And it was like $100 million. What the hell is that going to do? There's a lot of people, including myself, that have wanted there to be a certain cap in baseball. And we have that in the NBA. We have that in the NFL. The NHL incorporated that a little while ago, quite a long time ago. Baseball still hasn't. And I think a lot of people want to see that happen. I want to see that happen because I'm just tired of their, like, I get it. These bigger markets like the Yankees and the Dodgers and Red Sox, I get it. They're in the big markets, man. The Cubs, they're in the big markets. I get it. But I just get sick and tired of seeing that they can just get money out of their ass. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter. The Dodgers are over $300 million in total budget, I believe. Oh, yeah, there's no problem there. There's no problem with that. And then MLB Twitter puts out, oh, my Lord, 11 straight wins for the Dodgers. Oh, my God. I wonder why. Look at their whole roster. Ridiculous. I want to see a cap in baseball because I want to see other teams get in the mix. I want to see other teams be able to have opportunity to retain guys, to sign guys. You know what I'm saying? And sure, we know the Dodgers and Red Sox and Yankees. We know the Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2009. We know they haven't been there since 2009. We know the Red Sox, okay, if that's the point you're going to make, okay, fine. They're not in the World Series every year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're usually at the top every year. There's no way for teams like these smaller market teams, even medium-sized market teams, to really compete with them money-wise. Sure, teams like the Rays and the A's, the Mariners, I guess, this year, but the Cardinals have always been stable. Yes, I get that, and they've done a good job in player development, but that's not the point. The point is being able to go sign guys, being able to retain guys, and not just have it be Dodger City, Yankee City, Red Sox City, Cubs City, when these guys hit the market. No, freak out of here with that. I think mostly everybody wants there to be a cap in regards of baseball. Not this limit, not this bottom line tier of how much money you have to spend. No, that's not going to accomplish anything. Freak out here. And you're telling me teams like the Pirates, who are in a rebuild situation, want to spend $100 million? No. That's not the direction they're going to go. Now, the Pirates obviously have, they don't spend money anyway, and hopefully that's something that will change. Take that with a grain of salt. Hopefully that's something that changes. But we know that still, like, teams that are in that situation, what are they going to spend $100 million for on free agents when they're trying to bring up their own farm and have these younger guys develop into something? That makes no sense. So hopefully that gets turned down, but we need a cap in baseball. So that happened. Now also, there's been a proposal where players, I believe, by next year can wear their own, they have a lot more freedom in regards to what they can wear from, kind of their own cleats, customized cleats, or, sleeves or armbands, things like that. That's cool. I don't understand why sports don't do that. I understand maybe sports want teams to look a certain way or things like that, but the NFL, back when even D'Angelo Williams had freaking pink in his hair, the NFL didn't like that, you know what I mean? Or if there was a certain customization on one of their sleeves or cleats or something like that, they didn't like that. Like, come on. Now, also speaking about the NFL real quick, I know I just kind of transition out of that. Speaking of the NFL has put another rule on the taunting situation. No taunting, or you're going to get fined tons and tons of money. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. So if you saw the camera shake, my knee hit it. I'm sorry. I don't agree with this. I think players, I don't understand why you don't want players to show emotion. Now, I understand if taunting's taken to the next level, or if a referee feels like that's way over excessive taunting, okay. But there was one play where this one running back on Seattle carried about 6 defenders on him, and he got like 10 extra yards. He didn't get in their faces or anything like that. He just showed emotion and got a flag. Go back 15 yards. The hell? What is that? This might be another issue for I don't want this to be an issue. You know what I mean? Where we're seeing ridiculous calls being made because of taunting. I don't want to see that. If it's something very excessive, okay, fine. But let players show emotion, man. My lord. It's part of the game. Also, MLB, man. I'm going to go over the MLB standings here real quick because there's a new team here in the wild card. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up the MLB standings. Hold on 1 second, folks. Hold on. All right. So, we know the White Sox have the Central. They've had that Central one for quite a long time now. Tampa Bay is definitely most likely going to win the AL East. They're 4.5 up on the Yankees. Now, the Yankees have probably been the hottest team in baseball right now, man. The Yankees are finally figuring it out. They're finally gelling, finally clicking. Now, they still have some injury issues, but they're finally clicking. So, Rays are 77-48 in first place in the AL East. The Yankees are 72-52, 4.5 back, and then you got the Red Sox 71-55, 6.5. Toronto's still having a nice year at 64-58, but they're 11.5 back. We'll look at their wild card situation here. Baltimore 38-85. They lost 15. They've lost 18 games in a row. 18 games in a row. 18. I don't care if you're rebuilding or not, man. If you're losing 18 in a row, call your season. Call your season, please. White Sox obviously have that Central one. Everybody else there is pretty much irrelevant. Cleveland's 500. Everybody else there, I mean, their season's over. Houston 73-51. Oakland has dropped back a couple games. They're 70-55 at 3.5. Seattle's having a really nice year. Just unfortunately, Oakland and Houston's above them, 67-58. The Angels, I don't know what the situation with Mike Trout. I've honestly forgotten all about him. It doesn't seem like anything new is coming out of that situation. The NL East, Atlanta Braves, man. Atlanta Braves is probably the biggest surprise to me since the trade deadline in regards of, you know what I mean, in regards of their play. They're 68-56. They're in first place, and Philadelphia's 5 games back. So they brought in a lot of additions at the trade deadline, like Adam Duvall. They brought in Richard Rodriguez. They brought in Jorge Soler. They made quite a few trades, which I didn't expect, but they're still going all in without Ronald Acuna, and that's really great to see for them. Philadelphia 63-61, 5 games back. The Mets, I knew the Mets were going to fall apart. They're 61-63, 7 games back. Brewers are going to win the Central. Cincinnati 7.5 back. Brewers are sitting at 76-49. But the Reds are 69-57, and they're still having a really nice year. Just Milwaukee. I don't know what it is with Milwaukee, but their pitching's been very good throughout the year. Christian Yelich is kind of getting his bats back. Willie Adames has been a really nice addition for them. St. Louis is 63-60, and then obviously the Cubs and Pirates are obviously done. San Francisco 80-44, man. They've been the best team in baseball all year record-wise. They're looking to make a really deep run into the playoffs once again. The addition of Chris Bryant, I think for the most part, has been pretty good with them. I like their lineup a lot. Dodgers are 2.5 back at 78-47. Padres 68-58. They've been struggling a little bit. So they're 13 games back out of the West, so they're done. So it's going to come down to the Giants and Dodgers. That's still pretty close. Brewers have the Central one for sure. Braves, I think, probably have the East one with how they're playing and how the other teams are struggling. Houston and Oakland, that's not over yet. But Houston is definitely looking like they're on their way to that. White Sox have had the Central one pretty much all year, and Tampa Bay looks like they might have the East one. Now, going to the wild card, the Yankees are now in the wild card. They're first in the wild card. They're 2 games up on the Red Sox. Oakland is half game back. Seattle is 3.5 back, and Toronto is 5 back. So that's really the wild card race right there. Now, with how the Yankees are playing, they're playing great baseball at the right time. So if you're a Yankee fan, this is obviously great for you guys. Boston is still Boston's been steady. They've been steady. They're not dipping or straight falling downhill. They're kind of steady there. Oakland can definitely still get in for sure. I like what Oakland has there. They had some nice additions at the deadline. Marte's been great. Seattle, it's about time that they finally turn things around. They're having a nice year regardless they get in or not. Toronto, I think Toronto's really a year away from taking that leap. But that's what we're looking at in the AL. NL, Dodgers are obviously number 1 wild card. They'll obviously get in as a wild card if they don't win the division. So Cincinnati's really the new team that finally took the jump ahead of the Padres. And then the Padres are a game back. So it's really going to be those 3 teams. St. Louis is 4.5. Philadelphia's 5. I don't really see them really making a play in regards to getting in the playoffs. So Dodgers, Cincinnati, San Diego, that's probably going to be your wild card race the rest of the year. And San Diego, Joe Musgrove's been going off. Tatis is back. I think San Diego's really set up right now to really try to make a run in the playoffs finally. But Cincinnati's playing just as good, if not better. So that's going to be really interesting as well. But that's the current standings in baseball. I made a prediction a few weeks ago. If I make a prediction now, I think we see Rays, Houston, Sox as your division winners. I think San Francisco, Milwaukee, Atlanta, what it is currently, I think that's how it's going to finish off. I think wild card wise, Yankees get in. Red Sox or A's. I feel like it's going to be the A's, man. I really do. I like what the A's are doing. I feel like every year the A's are overlooked. Now, the A's lose in the wild card round every single year, but I like the A's. I like the A's more than I do Boston right now a little bit. Maybe Boston's lineup I like a little bit more, but I like what the A's are doing pitching-wise, too. So I'm going to go with the A's right now in the wild card, but Boston obviously can easily still make it. So if you're a Red Sox fan, you're obviously really holding out hope there that they can kind of keep their wins going. NL, like I said, I like that there. Dodgers, I think the Padres get in. The Reds, the Reds are playing good right now. We'll see, they definitely could use Jesse Winker back. I just think the Padres pitching is going to help them down the line. But that's just my opinion. It could go either way. And also, I wanted to kind of talk about... So, Miguel Cabrera finally hits the 500 club. I don't know how much longer Miguel Cabrera's going to play. I believe he's 38. He's had a phenomenal career. Triple Crown winner, man. He's definitely been one of the best players that I've been able to watch in baseball. I say probably Trout, Kershaw, Cabrera. Who else have we had? I'm trying to think of some guys, too, in the past. Some of the best players, guys. Because I started watching baseball and getting into baseball when I was, in second grade. I'm just trying to think of some guys. I don't know. I could be here all day trying to think of some guys. But Cabrera's definitely one of the guys, one of the best players. So I guess current players, Trout's probably the best player I was able to watch. But Cabrera's definitely there. Kershaw, maybe Scherzer, David Ortiz, guys like that. What else do we want to talk about here? Is that all we wanted to talk about? Is that going to be the end of the show? Let me see. Oh, yeah. One other thing. Hockey related, man. The Arizona Coyotes. Their arena in Glendale, I believe, what's the name of the arena? Is it Gila River Arena? Maybe I'm wrong on that. What's the name of their arena? What's the name of the arena? Gila River Arena, right. Okay. So, the Coyotes, apparently Gila River, they're wanting to go their separate ways with the Coyotes. They're not going to renew in regards of being the home for them. So the Coyotes are going to be in a situation without an arena for right now next year. I don't know if they're... Obviously, they can't build one to be ready for next year, so I don't know. I'd assume they're probably going to split an arena with somebody. I don't know. Now, I think maybe it's possible, maybe not likely. I think it's still possible that depending how this goes and things like that, who knows? Maybe sometime down the line the Coyotes move, because there were talks about a decade ago the Coyotes were going to move from Arizona, and that didn't happen. They stayed put. Here we are again. Coyotes are without a home. I just think it's definitely possible that I think Quebec's been looking for a team. It's possible that maybe down the road sometime that the Coyotes move. I don't know. So that's kind of the situation with the Coyotes. Coyotes are obviously going to be piss poor this year. They've done the right thing, moving a lot of their guys. Darcy, Ekman Larson, I could go through the roster. Because they're in a spot, they weren't going anywhere. With these guys, they aren't going. You had to blow it up. You had to blow it up, tear it down. It's probably going to be quite a while till the Coyotes do that. They just can't get it right, man. They can't get it right with player development. They can't get it right with their roster. They can't get it right with their coach. They can't get it right as a franchise. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Coyotes, they're kind of in some deep water right now, but who knows? Maybe they'll get figured out. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. Episode 30 here of In Hindsight, man. It's good to be back. Like I said, I apologize for the inconvenience. No show yesterday, and this will probably be up. Around 8 o'clock, 8:30. So I'm sorry for my inconvenience on that end, but sometimes things are just out of your control, and things just take up more time than you hoped, and that's just the way it goes. But we'll be back here tomorrow. We're going to be recapping the Steelers and Lions game. So if you're, like I said, a Pittsburgh fan, Steeler fan, you definitely want to tune into that. You guys can follow me on Facebook at In Hindsight, Twitter, Nate_Heintz, Nathan_Heintz on Instagram. Keep up with all things the channel. If you want to interact with me, I'm always feel free to interact, man. I enjoy interact in sports and everything like that. So you can even comment in the comments. If there's anything in this show that stuck out to you want to talk about or something else, I always reply back, comment back. If you guys want to subscribe and like, I really appreciate that. Just trying to keep growing this channel week by week. That's all you can do. So that's always appreciated. Just trying to reach as many sport fans as I can. Whether you're a Pittsburgh fan, whether you're a fan of another city or multiple other cities, regardless, this is a podcast for whatever fan, whatever kind of fan you are and things like that. It doesn't matter to me what team you support. It's all fun. It's always a good time. And, sports is just great, man. It just brings a lot of people together, I think. And it's just always fun to have good sports discussion, bro. So, but anyway, we'll be back here tomorrow. Around 3 o'clock, we should be good to go. So, but anyway, thank you all for the support, and I hopefully you enjoy the show. We went about 50 minutes here, so a little bit longer than I thought. But anyway, have a good rest of your night, guys, and hopefully have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, take care.